so excited and ready for a fall reset. It's still really hot here in California because the weather doesn't change for a little bit yet, but I'm ready to see the season change and to slow down and enjoy the little things. We don't have any fall decor, so I'm not going to be decorating at all right now, but one thing I've been thinking about is getting back into baking bread. Steven's actually been hinting a lot about bread in general and sourdough, so I'm not going to do sourdough this time around because I've never done sourdough before, so I'm going to have to read up on that and explore that a little bit more. But I do want to make some bread. I actually got some rosemary, so I'm hoping to make rosemary bread, which will be really exciting for the fall. I've also just been really excited about all the little things of life, like little things like my plant has new little shoots growing, and I'm just so excited because it's growing so fast and so well. And so I'm excited just for all these fall moments of slowing down and just enjoying all these little things that life has. So I have this falling apart notebook from my mom that's like literally falling apart. And I have like a lot of recipes in here. They're written on like scrap paper and cue cards and stuff like that. So I want to digitize some of these going forward. I don't want everything digital because sometimes when you're cooking, it's nice to have just like a little card instead of bringing your whole laptop over. But I also have a lot of recipes I use online that I'm always having to search and find. So I want to take it out of this falling apart notebook and get it into something digital, probably like Google Docs or something like that.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain. Shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other. Beyond gravel, beyond all. Hand in hand, building castles out of sand, reaching for the grand. As willows align, we lose track of time. Head up high, now we climb.
I woke up this morning with a sore throat, so I decided to sleep in. I'm feeling a little better now, but hopefully it's nothing too major. Today I wanted to open up a little bit and talk about overwhelm and anxiety because there's been a lot of things on my mind lately, and I've been really struggling with both overwhelm and anxiety lately, just trying to prioritize my tasks, and I feel like I can never get enough done, or I can't get all the things done that I need to get done. So I've been thinking about slowing down and cutting back on some of these things and kind of getting down to the bare bones of what God has called me to do and what God has put in front of me to do. And so that means learning to say yes and no to the right things. It's actually funny because I decided to do this, like slow down and cut back last week, like Thursday, Friday. And on Friday afternoon, I got 3 requests from people for additional things, 2 of them being church ministry. It's kind of humorous to me, but at the same time, I'm like, Lord, is this a test? Do you want me to say no and stick to the things you've called me to, or do you want me to say yes to these things? Because sometimes God asks us to do things when it doesn't make sense. I've been kind of wrestling with that in my mind, and then also just feeling overwhelmed with my schedule and trying to figure out what I'm actually supposed to be doing. So today I've been waiting for this day, because today I want to get back to what God has called me to and kind of walk through some of these requests. There's one in particular that I really want to say yes to, but I don't know if I should. So I need to decide on that. It's actually for the Christmas program at church. I've been asked to help out. There's some girls that will be singing some music, and I was asked to help with vocal technique and with like helping them learn harmony and things like that. So it's something I would love to do, but I just don't know if I have the time or energy to do that. So we're going to pray through that today, and I want to just seek the Lord and see what His will is on that for me, and if I should be putting energy toward that, because I've been really lacking energy the last few years, partly because of endometriosis. I would say I have about half the amount of energy that I used to have like 3, 4, or 5 years ago. So I want to slow down and just start trying to heal my body, because I mean, obviously the Lord is the one that heals my body, but using just more natural methods, which I'll talk about here in a moment. This is really hard for me because I'm super goal oriented, and I put a lot of pressure on myself to do things. So today, as I create these goals and as I walk through like this monthly reset here, and as we go into autumn, I would really like to, as I said, slow down, but also put less pressure on myself, give myself more, I guess, grace, if I can say it that way, with these goals, and make it doable for the energy that God has given me right now. Okay, so I have done my calendar and looked at some of my goals, and definitely am decreasing my goals this time around for September and just in generally for the rest of the year. I just quickly want to go through some of the highlights. The first one being YouTube. I am still going to be doing videos. I actually have that pretty much planned out for the rest of the year, so we're going to continue on with that. I might be taking a small break with crokinole. I was talking to my sister, and she was saying that depending on de minimis and how the tariff things work right now, because we're not shipping to the US because of all of the unknown factors with tariffs at the border and stuff like that. So if that gets sorted out, it'll change some things. But depending on that, maybe taking a little bit of a break with crokinole, not long, like a couple weeks maybe, just so I can do some other things like creating my course that I'm trying to do and haven't had a lot of time for. So those are some specific work things that I want to make time for this month and have some changes. I will be continuing my Scopos discipleship program that I'm doing and meeting with my discipler every other week. The Peacemakers book is also a part of that and with the class. So That goes through November. I should be finishing up Scopos probably February or March next year. Another thing I want to do is make better use of my evenings. I don't do a lot of work in the evenings, and I normally like to put boundaries on that, especially once Steven comes home, because I want to be spending time with him. At the same time, I do want to make use of my evenings, and particularly when I have energy, because often by the time the evening comes, I don't have a lot of energy anymore. So I just want to be proactive when I do have the energy to do things. One huge reset for me is my health. I already talked about a lot of this earlier, but one big change for me is coffee. I recently read about how much pesticides and mold there is in coffee, like regular coffee. I was thinking about that and how much that might be contributing to my energy levels, to endometriosis, to infertility, and things like that. So I have been decreasing my coffee. One thing though that I will continue to have coffee for is migraines. I get a lot of migraines, particularly in September with the pollen and things like that. It's just really bad in California. So I will be having coffee for those migraines, but overall I want to wean myself off of coffee, not be dependent on coffee. All you coffee drinkers out there know exactly what I mean. Typically when I quit coffee, I usually do it for like a few months, so probably sometime in the winter I'll start having coffee again. But I did find this company, it's called 7 Weeks Coffee. They're a Christian company and they're pro-life, so when you buy from them, you support that, which is really fabulous. Their coffee is pesticide-free and mold-free, so when I start having coffee again, I will buy from them and support them. The other thing with my health is that I would like to get a hormone panel done with a naturopathic doctor. We did all our fertility testing like a year and a half ago, or is it 2.5 years ago? I can't remember. We got that all done a while ago. Naturopathic doctors, when they take blood and look at your hormone panel, they typically go deeper than your average infertility doctor, and look more closely at how like all the hormones play with each other, and then like your iron and your calcium and your vitamin D. They look at everything, and they just go deeper than your average doctor. So we've been looking at that. I have been looking at a clinic, particularly in Willow Glen, which is in San Jose. There's a practice there that they work with you to personalize everything for you from your diet, and it's all based on what your blood work shows you and things like that. So this just came out of the oven. It is smelling so good in here. This is rosemary bread. It is great for dipping in olive oil and balsamic vinegar, but butter also works really well. I have to let these cool for about 2 hours, but they'll be ready in time for dinner, which I am so excited about. Thank you so much for joining me for this autumn reset. I am so excited to get more focused on the things that God has called me to do and what He has put in front of me. And if you guys are resetting for the fall, or maybe it's just September, let me know what changes you're making or what some of your goals are. See you next time.